Can I vent? I just want to vent because I just happened to have seen something, my mind channeled into it, and it's like, go ahead and just express that real quick. Go ahead and lay that out. Because if you feeling that you just need to express what's on your mind, always do that. Always just express, because when you seeing things so vivid and so clear, it's just sometimes it's good to get this. It's just good to get it off your chest. It's good to speak it out in existence out into others so they can resonate it with. Because true enough, we're all here. We're all experiencing this. Everyone that's who has come into their conscience, you know, and know and see the whereabouts of what's going on. So I just saw something that made me just want to break down how revealing everything is, and it's showing to us. Things that were before then, you didn't look at and like say anything to. Like when the beginning of this pandemic happened, when the beginning of this happened, it were things like I wasn't awake at the time. I wasn't awake at the time to actually see and channel in on a lot of shit like now, because I had my spiritual awakening later, and later down the line, excuse me. But what I'm seeing fucking now is how, goddamn, they're pushing agendas right in front of our faces every day. Like, and just being that they got the meals on wheels. Hear me now. The meals on motherfucking wheels. The meals on wheels going right now. You know what I'm saying? Delusion is working hard at bay to put beings in position to still run the construct of their new world and revealing it to us. Now, when I say the meals on wheels, if you know what that means, it means, you know what I'm saying, they're operating as far as moving food into the homes, that at which keeps the beings, vacated inside. The ones that are not coming outside enough, or being out and getting fresh air, changing their diet, tapping in and tapping out of their world, they're keeping them stuck and drawn down by having food come and be delivered to your front doorstep. They're like, why have you still, let's not take you out of the programming of your mind, because you've been used to you used to eating these foods. You used to going here to this and that place, right? When you had the ability to still do it, but knowing that you can't do it because you're locked down to what the illusion is throwing in front of you to believe, but you're locked down to sit in a house and then wait for a meal to become and sent to you. You see how the evaporation of how fickle the conscience, they want to make it. They didn't upgraded the transportation of food from you being able to go get it to now we're going to have it sent to you. We're simulating the world. We're simulating the new world right in front of you, that there will be no more you having to go, you're going here or going there. Things are going to come to you, because we're now going to place you in that control of not having to have the control of yourself to go anywhere. Knowing that you wake up in the morning with nobody telling you to get out of bed. Nobody telling you to fucking get out of bed. You get out of bed. You go in the bathroom. You sit on the toilet. You do whatever you do in the morning. No one's getting you up and having you to do any of that. But yet, you don't move outside of your house to go get nothing to eat. You allow somebody else to wait and bring it to you. They're simulating that world in which is going to be the new earth, the NWO, and that way of correspondence. It's how they will have the next level of play out for beings. Like it's like drawn right there. And like, of course, when you ting into it, when you ting like and look at it to see that, damn, this is how they do us, bro. This is how they do us human beings, man. They fickle the mind of others so weak today they leave them like just dependent on having waiting for what they have to offer to them, waiting for the next level of play. Being that this whole year now, has been the picking and the cracks in the Maya, in the illusion, the cracks shining the lights in. This is the year of, of light, man. It's the year of all of the lies being revealed and the truths being told. And I just see that, and I know exactly what it is, because everywhere I look around, I just happen to see more and more people. And being that the work factor of happening to know a system you're looped into, to know that I gotta work, I gotta do something, I gotta get on the road, and I gotta go drop off I gotta go deliver, I gotta go drop off a meal to another being, when they're eating the processed food of which they make to keep the mind still, keep the being to know unrecognizable to self, unrecognizable to who they are. They're filling them with they're transmitting those demonic energy into the vessel and into the being of that person that they're dropping off that food to on their doorstep. It's all a way of using us. They use us because when we are in control and know who we are, how can they fucking use us, bro? Everything about this world, they did it off of our mind patterns. They did it off of not even having to come and knock on our door and say, hey. They didn't have to, the ones in control, the ones running everything, they didn't have to show up at the front door and knock and reveal themselves one-on-one, saying, hey, I need you to get up and go, I need you to go get up and build me a world, and I need you to get up and go, work my jobs. No. They structured a fucking way to loop the mind into that shit and have the mind now drawn into just doing that each and every day, and not go behind even seeing anything different, or go behind to ask questions. Just know that how come all of these apps just came out of nowhere, right? And there's no questions, right, being asked. But not the downloads I'm getting, not the ting I'm getting, all of this Grubhub, all of this Uber Eats. Are these just not cover-ups to having demonic energy being transferred on the go to human beings in their homes, so now they can just stay asphyxiated down? Hey, you don't need to worry about, focusing, or you don't need to worry about any of the positive things of doing in this time of you actually not having no restraints on yourself at all. They took away jobs. This is the year of no work. This is the year of shining, the year of you coming out and, creating and really looking at yourself to know who you really are and who you really have been for the last couple of years. There are some people that are down, that before this even happened, look at that. You hear that shit? Ain't a fucking plane in the sky. But there are some people before then, myself included, that, when the world was just so-called normal, quote unquote normal, last year, You had people, stressing and complaining about a job then, right? Like, oh, I can't stand this job. Now this job is this and that. But this is the year where that job is, how come you were lifted from that job? How come you were lifted from not complaining about that job? Now you're able to have that time that you wanted just to be at home and lay up and not have to worry about getting up and going to a job. Now you got that time away. So what is really now the point of now what's really holding you back? What's really holding you back? So, and it's just like, that's where when we not really tapped in to see that all our answers lie within us. Every experience that we done had on this earth up until our awakening state has been us trying to find our way back within so that we can start living without. It's just like that. Now look, this video, of course, I am not saying anything, and fuck all that, man. Fuck that. I ain't even gotta go behind myself. You shouldn't either. Fuck that. Simply just this. Because everybody here knows they have a purpose cause we going in the dark ages, all right? But people are they are dealing with it right now. They're forced to deal with their shadow side. They're forced to see their reality, and there's gonna be a huge rude awakening for a lot of people who have been stuck to this construct and stuck to this world and allowing their mind to be tampered with. There's no way around it. You are in control of your life. There's no actual chains wrapped around you. It's the figment of your imagination that has as imaginary chains around your mind. But as soon as you snap the fingers to be like, damn, okay, I'm out of that fucking hypnosis. There wasn't nothing on my brain in the fucking first place. You see that? This is how we're drawn in. We don't even know. We have to see it like this as well. We're used at their discretion. They don't make any moves. This is why they move in the dark. This is why they don't reveal themselves. This is why they have an organization. This is exactly why they don't need to actually be physically seen to physically do anything, because they know that we're not even physically here. We're only merely experiencing our life. We're merely just experiencing our life. Okay? People who, they know that the ones that came here, that incarnated into this world and were drawn into just the physical appearance, knew that that was going to be a way to rope them into an effect and loop them into a minded field for you to stay attached to, for you to fucking stay attached to and never lose yourself or ground yourself away from the world that you know, to just let everything flow in the way you believe it flows. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how I look at the construct of their world when I see it the way I see it. Because like water, it just flows. So if your water, if you don't see the flow in your waters, and you know what I'm saying, within you, they gonna have a water that just flows and you gonna flow with it. The same ones here doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? We have a water that flows as well. And see, they don't want us to turn our shit on and start flowing with our own reality. They want us to stay flowing with theirs. I brought this up because I don't know if you done been seeing lately, but a lot of people have been getting a lot more, their appetite is going up. People are getting hungrier. And it's definitely showing how when this shit strikes, when it does, just imagine how many people have been eating as much as they have now to when the mayhem occurs, where a lot of people are going to be, how a lot of people are going to be positioned because of just so much they have been eating now, and less attention that they have been given. Now, this is just simply what I'm feeling within, because, man, it's not something that, of course, everybody won't. And it's like when people even say that shit, it's like you still gotta be a humanitarian. And that's what I am. I'm a humanitarian. I still see people and just still sort of like, I feel for them in a way. And it's like you just want to see people. Me personally, this is me. I just want to see people. I don't like to see no one suffer. You know, that's the worst thing you can. That's the worst thing you can watch and see somebody deal with is suffering. To just suffer. And being that people just simply, they just go about life with no question, like with actually not, saying no to something, not seeing the actuality behind it. Because it's something behind something that's behind something that's behind something, which is the third dimensional effect. If you just only stop to look at what's in front, you won't even grasp to know that there's more behind it. Which is how they're simulating a world inside of a world, because you're a world in a world that can create a world within a world as well. Like, this is my whole world. I'm having a world right here. I'm having a whole world create right here. And I'm inside their world, seeing it, how it's operating. And knowing that there are moves and agendas being made, just so that the vibration is so low to where they still can feed. I just wonder why why I was so addicted to just process shit, and just addicted to foods that just didn't ever do anything for me. And no one could ever told me. And I used to be somebody, and God within me, I forgive, you know what I'm saying? I used to be somebody who used to look at people like yoga, like people who did yoga, or, healthy people in a way. I used to look at them and be like, y'all crazy as a motherfucker. Y'all eat that shit? Y'all eat that? Y'all don't eat no meats? Y'all don't eat none of this? But I was fucking speaking backwards. You see how Inside out, I was. We all were inside out to be taken away from what we are connected to say, fuck that, we gonna eat this, which is actually harmful to self, you, and the planet you live on. You're fucking eating, you're consuming another spirit being transmitted into you anyway. You're always having something transmitted into you as either a spirit or negative energy of some sort. Something is being transmitted into and transferred into your inside of you. Because what you eat, you are. So flesh of another spirit, whether it be an animal, it be a mammal, whatever, you're eating something that has a spirit as well. And it's just seeing food being served in vehicles while traveling around from house to house is almost like dropping off. It's almost like dropping off people's. It's almost like dropping a tombstone off on people's doorsteps, man. Because how come, and I'm not even gonna say, and it's just like, if it was more of a if it was positive in a way where, you know, food was being delivered that was good for you. Cause let's just be honest, like, you know, I want to say maybe 99%. This is just my opinion. I just believe that a lot of people, you know, are not. It's only a couple of people within that are awakened to know this, like you and I. It's only a handful of us to know that eating right, eating the right nutritions, taking care of yourself is the way to better your life. You know, there's no other way. There's no other way of eating besides the way, the healthy way, the plant-based way. And those that will tell you, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or they're like, you can't say otherwise. Okay? There's proof all over that is the only way in which human beings are supposed to be that's the only consumption that we are supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, consuming and putting into our vessels, putting into our bodies. Being somebody who used to sit up and be a carnivore, like that's all. If you saying you can eat the meat of a animal, you can basically, if we was in drastic times right now, drastic fucking times, and you put this shit in the movies, cannibals, drastic fucking times, Hannibal Lecter, if you was starving and you couldn't have your fucking hamburger, your pizza, you couldn't have your fucking spaghetti, you couldn't have any of that shit, and you was starving, and you had all these bodies around you, human beings, meat, you probably be the first one to attack another human being, because that's what they setting you up to be. They want to set you up and to see that eating flesh, eating the life of another spirit is okay. Anything here on this earth with a pulse that breathes, that is here experiencing life, it's here to experience his life, just like you and I. It's not here to have its life ripped away from itself. And that's just the worst thing about it, bro. I know this video everywhere, but when you take a step back and you really look at it, you just, it's almost as though like I'm so happy for the universe. I really appreciate you. I really love you. I do. Because I've been through some tough shit in my life. And it's just like the fact that I was able to step away from a life like that, in which I was just I was brainwashed. Some people are still brainwashed. Some are not anymore. And we just sort of kind of see exactly the harm behind doing certain things in this world because of what it will project, not only to the spirit, but how it will project to the planet, the universe above. The projection of us up above is what's supposed to be down below. There ain't no different projection. But the narrative it was twisted. But yeah. It's just I just want to see people just wish they just had more of a outlook on what's going on. It's just like, damn, what it ain't they fault. You can't be mad at anybody, or you can't feel upset for anyone. You just have to know that you're experiencing everything. You're experiencing everything, but just I seen exactly what is taking place like right in front of us, and like the fact that they lined up, everyone to be, compartmentalized to what's going on. It just shows that, this is the stage in which they're pushing, like they're staging right in front of us. Like it's staging here. Like, you ever wake up and you live somewhere and you happen to, like, let's say in your neighborhood, you happen to go outside, you just, that for sure you going outside, you ain't gonna see like no cars in their driveway. They gonna be all at work, right? But now you go outside, look how normal that shit just looks. You go outside every day, you see a car in the driveway every day. Like, damn, like nobody went to anywhere today. It's just almost like nobody got in their car and went nowhere. It's like they were, like they're bound to the house. It's like literally like an activation switch just then went off. The ones that know that I haven't been actively, I'm not, there is no switch for me that they're switching on and off. They can't keep it going for much longer. They know they can't. That's the truth.